Hello everyone! Today I'm going to talk to you about one of my favorite brands of all time, Tom Ford Beauty, and today I'm going to walk you through my top 10 must-haves from his collection. And today we're going to focus on permanent products because, as many of you know, I spend a lot of time covering seasonal products, but because not all of us are interested in chasing down limited editions, today I wanted to highlight and feature his amazing permanent selection. So I'm going to first talk to you about my number one product from Tom Ford, which are his eyeshadows. Today I'm actually wearing Titanium Smoke. I just wanted to show you how Titanium Smoke looks with a contrasting warm brown eyebrow. Now I'm going to show you one of my favorites, and I tried to clean this up as best as possible, but this is my very favorite Tom Ford eyeshadow quad, and this one is called Seductive Rose. I actually have two new ones to share with you, and these are some of the newer additions to the Tom Ford lineup. I also love Cocoa Mirage, which is the all matte eye color quad. And the other two, which many of you have seen me wear over and over again, are Golden Mink and Cognac Sable. So those two are perfect if you like really warm eyeshadow looks. They're super neutral, but they have a little bit of sparkle with the Celestials, so that way you can use them to amp up your daytime looks for evenings out. And just before moving on to my second Tom Ford Beauty pick, I just wanted to show you how beautiful Orchid Haze is. I think this one is absolutely perfect for light to medium Asian complexions. I just think that dusky roses and mauve pinks tend to look really good on yellow-toned Asian skin because it's not quite as simple or quote-unquote boring as a brown neutral, but I just think it adds a little bit of color and it's just a lot more wearable than even Seductive Rose, because Seductive Rose does come with two celestial eyeshadows, just like Titanium Smoke. Now for my second pick, which is pretty universally loved, these are the Tom Ford lip colors, and today I'm actually wearing First Time, which is one of his matte colors, a permanent shade now, and Neiman Marcus did restock it recently, so just to celebrate the return of First Time, I am wearing it today on top of a little bit of lip balm. So it doesn't look quite as matte, but it is a really beautiful warm peach, and it's very similar to the new YSL Glossy Stain Pop Water edition in number 208 Wet Nude, which is one of my absolute favorites, but this is the matte version of that color. So I absolutely love both renditions. It just depends on what kind of lip look you like. So my favorite of the permanent lip colors, not mattes, but just the original formula, is number one, Spanish Pink, and this is my second tube. That's how much I love it. It's just a really great everyday wearable color, and it's just natural and flattering with a hint of pink, a hint of peach, and I just find that of all the Tom Ford lip colors that I ever wear, this one is one of the more forgiving lighter colors. The reds are obviously super rich and creamy and incredibly well pigmented, but I think Spanish Pink is one of the most universally flattering lipsticks on the market, and the formula is great even on my ultra dry, ultra sensitive lips. My third product on my must-haves is the Tom Ford bronzing powder in number 2 Terra, and though this product has a really hefty initial investment, I have used this product so much and I still haven't hit the pan yet. Most of you know in almost every single video I'm either wearing Tom Ford's Terra or Charlotte Tilbury's bronzer. Those are the top two bronzers that I wear. So I probably will retire this when the summer collection is released because Tom Ford mini bronzers are coming out, and I think those are going to sell out so quickly, so make sure you keep an eye out for that because, as many of you know, Tom Ford limited edition products don't last very long and most of them are sold out during pre-sale. I've talked about the Tom Ford bronzer so many times, but Terra is just ultra smooth. It's not excessively mattifying or drying, so even if you have dry skin, normal to dry skin like me, you can still wear it successfully without flaky bits and just uneven texture and color. But I think that the Tom Ford bronzer is one of the most long-lasting, evenly wearing bronzer products on the market. I highly, highly, highly recommend it, and that's why it's part of my top 3 products. Now for my fourth product, which is one of Tom Ford's newest. This is the Concealing Pen, I believe. There's two different concealers that he released, one dual-sided, one with a sponge, and today my fourth pick from my Tom Ford must-haves list is this concealer. I actually have it in light and light medium. I haven't used the light medium yet because I've been obsessed with the light, but this creamy formula is almost exactly like a liquid version of my Holy Grail Clé de Peau concealer, which comes in stick form. And I love this because you only need to use a touch. It's actually a little bit more drying than I would have liked, but that makes it extra long lasting. Plus, I can use this on my blemishes. In a way, it is somewhat similar to the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer because I can also use that under my eyes and on my blemishes, but I think that Tom Ford, especially if you have oily skin, this will definitely last a lot longer. And I'm just really impressed by the coverage because you can use just a little bit for sheer, or you can build up an extra click or two. This is a clicky pen, so you can just add extra coverage if you need. So I really love the packaging, even though most people don't like the sponge tip. I don't actually use the sponge for blending in the concealer. I just swipe it with a clean fingertip and then blend the concealer. And many thanks to my sister who bought that for me. So now for my top two foundations from Tom Ford. So this will be my fifth and my sixth pick. So first I'm going to talk about the Traceless Perfecting Foundation. This is the new version of Tom Ford's liquid foundation, and I love this so much more. First, they got rid of the lavender scent, so I was really happy that this is almost fragrance free, at least to my nose. And I actually like the packaging. It's a little bit more modern. It's a lighter weight plastic instead of glass, and I just think that this formula feels like a really exceptional BB cream that's not oily or greasy. So it almost has the texture of a CC cream, but the coverage of a BB cream. But now let's move on to the Traceless Foundation Stick. And this is my second purchase of this particular foundation. And actually, if you're curious, Cate Blanchett has gorgeous skin. And I asked her once what foundation she uses when she's not being done up by a makeup artist for sets or photo shoots and whatnot. And she told me that her makeup artist told her about the Traceless Foundation Stick, and she'll usually slap some on before heading out, on top of some sunscreen, of course. And I use the color Fawn in both this Traceless Foundation Stick as well as the liquid, and I just love this because it has such beautiful coverage. So if you're looking for lighter coverage, try the liquid. If you're looking for full coverage, definitely stick to the Traceless Foundation Stick. I actually did buy Bobbi Brown's reformulated foundation stick as well, and I bought it at duty free at the airport, but I still prefer the Tom Ford. If you have combination or oily skin, you may prefer the Bobbi Brown, but I just find that on my normal to dry skin, this particular formula works so well because it's a little bit more emollient, and it just makes my skin look amazing. It doesn't highlight my pores, and it just has that really satin finish with just a hint of glow, so I don't have to set with powder either, but normally I will, just because this is more prone to moving than the liquid. Now for my seventh pick from Tom Ford. As many of you know, I am a liquid liner addict. I've tried almost every single liquid liner on the planet, and my favorite two are by M Cosmetics, the matte scribble liner, and my second favorite is the Tom Ford Eye Defining Pen. Now this one does smudge a little bit after a long day in the inner corners of my eyes, so I tend to wear this one when the weather is a little bit cooler, and I don't drag it all the way into the inner corner unless, like today, I set with a powder eyeshadow. And this one has, again, a really glossy formula, but it's ultra pigmented and so smooth. This is one of the few eyeliners that I can just swipe once and the color coverage is totally and absolutely complete. You might never think to assume this, but it actually is very difficult to find a truly black liquid liner. Most of them are very watery, very sheer, they tend to smudge or drift, and I hate raccoon eyes and I do not like touching up during the day. So when I wear makeup, I expect it to last throughout the day and look perfect at the end of the day because I just don't like touching my face. There's so many germs on your hands, you really just want to hands off. That's why I really depend on this eye defining pen, and it lasts forever. So I've gone 6 months with one eyeliner pen, plus it has two sides, a longer pen for lining your upper lash line, and then a smaller calligraphy tip if you want to do detailed work along the lower lash line or even between your lashes to tightline. Now winding down with my number 8. This is Tom Ford's Frantic Pink Blush in number 2, and this one is my favorite out of all the blushes he's ever released. So if you use Tom Ford's cheek brush, you can actually get a ton of color coverage from this. A lot of women initially look at the pan and think, wow, that's way too light, it's going to look too sheer, but even on medium tan skin, this color looks absolutely gorgeous. You can use it as a highlighter if you have really, really dark skin, but overall, I just find that this one is ultra creamy. It gives you that just flushed look without looking like you're wearing a ton of color. If you're looking for a subtle color to wear every day, I highly recommend this. Wedding season is coming up though, so if you are a makeup artist that works weddings and does makeup for brides and bridesmaids, or if you are in a bridal party yourself, make sure you pick up that blush. Now for Tom Ford's nail polishes, which are my 9th pick, and today I'm wearing Carnal Red, which is one of my holy grail red nail polishes. I actually prefer this to most of Chanel's reds, and the reason I say that is Tom Ford's reds are really vibrant and punchy. Even in really dim lighting, they still look bright and fresh. So that's why I love, love, love Carnal Red. I just think it looks gorgeous on all different skin tones, and with 2 layers, which is on my middle finger, you get more of a tomato red, but with a 3rd coat, you actually get a deeper cardinal red. If you love reds like I do, then definitely try Scarlet Chinois as well. This one is even brighter than Carnal Red because it actually has a little bit more red orange. So I just think this is a phenomenal red, and Tom Ford's reds are just so easy to wear. So they're really rich, really pigmented, and you can actually get away with 1 coat if you prefer sheerer looking nails. Last but not least for the nails is my Holy Grail Nude, and this one is called Toasted Sugar. This one is perfect because it's not too nude, it's not too light where it washes out my skin tone, and it's not too pink, but it's not too brown either. So it's the perfect balance of any nude shade, and I just think it wears beautifully. So I like to use up to 3 coats just because I like a thicker looking nail. My nail beds are really, really tiny, as you can see. So that's just my take on it, but I absolutely adore and highly, highly recommend Tom Ford's permanent nail polishes. Most of the ones in my collection are limited edition, but I love, love, love these 3 that I just shared with you. And finally, to wrap up this top 10 edit are my Tom Ford brushes. This is my 10th pick, and the reason why I saved them for last is because I've talked about them a lot. I've reviewed almost every single one on my blog, thereviewer.com, so you can definitely check out those posts if you're looking for size comparisons or just reviews on the quality of these incredible goat-haired brushes. But I think the most bang for your buck brush is actually the bronzer version, and I say that because even though it's expensive, you get an incredible amount of hair. As much as I love Tom Ford's eye blender, which is my favorite of all the eye brushes that he makes, I think that you get so much more for your money when you buy the bronzer brush. Plus, you can use this with loose powder like Meteorite's Pearls, or powder foundation or bronzer. You can use this for just about anything. So I highly recommend this bronzer brush if you're looking for a really good investment in Tom Ford brushes. Now, I really, really love the crease brush, so I recommend this to everyone because this is one of my favorite crease brushes of all time. I feel like Max 217 used to be the standard, but ever since the quality went downhill a couple years ago, they just feel really scratchy and they irritate my eyes, which aren't even that sensitive. So that's why I recommend the Tom Ford Eye Blender, and I do apologize because both of my brushes need to be washed. So even though it is very expensive compared to how much hair, just the pure density of the bronzer brush, I do think that this is an essential in my kit. So if you've ever been interested in Tom Ford and you didn't know what to start with, or you didn't know what my favorites were, now you know. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye!